I used to think the hardest part for Patty would be simply making it through that first night, but later I realized something else touched me even more. Patty grew up, found her own little herd, and no longer needed us to take care of her every second. Yet every time she comes back inside, she still runs straight to Momo. It's almost as if, no matter how big her world has become, she has never forgotten the dog who stayed beside her when she was too small to protect herself. We found Patty outside on a day when the temperature had dropped to around 20 degrees below zero. She was tiny, fragile, and barely able to keep herself warm. Looking at her, all I could think about was how to get her through the night. But the moment we brought her inside, something unexpected happened. Momo, our 100-pound-plus dog, immediately went over to her. Momo started licking Patty, gently cleaning her little coat and staying right beside her as if it were the most natural thing in the world. Honestly, we were a little nervous. Momo was enormous compared to her, and Patty was so tiny she practically looked like a toy next to him. One wrong move could have hurt her, so we watched them very carefully. But within about an hour, Patty started to perk up. She lifted her little head, became more alert, and started looking around at everything. It felt like only minutes earlier we were worried she might not make it, and suddenly she was acting like a real little lamb again. And once Patty started feeling better, we quickly discovered she had a new problem. She didn't want to leave Momo. Wherever Momo went, Patty followed. If he lay down, she would find a way to get close to him. And because Patty was a baby lamb, apparently everything she saw had to be investigated or turned into a toy. Electrical cords? Patty wanted to check them out. Shoes? Definitely worth investigating. Anything sitting on the floor? She needed to know what it was. But the funniest thing was that Patty could turn almost anything into a little ramp. She would climb up, step over it, or scramble down the other side just so she could keep following Momo. Once Patty started feeling safe, her real personality began to come out, and we quickly discovered that this little girl absolutely loved attention. She wanted to be involved in everything. If I walked out of the room, it wouldn't be long before I saw a tiny head peeking around the doorway. I swear, Patty was always keeping an eye on me. She would circle around my feet and follow me from room to room like a tiny little shark looking for her next target. But deep down, I think she just wanted to make sure she wasn't being left behind. And as long as Momo was somewhere nearby, she seemed even more comfortable. Eventually, Patty got bigger, and we realized that the best life for her couldn't just be living inside the house with us and Momo. She needed other sheep. She needed a herd, room to run, and the chance to live the way a sheep is supposed to live. The first time we introduced her to the herd, Patty wasn't exactly impressed. She seemed to be saying, "Okay, I'll stay outside for about 10 minutes and then I'm going back to the couch." She didn't understand yet that the other sheep could become her friends. At that point, home, Momo, and our family were still the places where she felt safest.
Sima! Right here, puppies! iPhone dudes!
But little by little, Patty changed. She became more comfortable with the herd and started spending more time with her new friends. Eventually, those outside adventures got longer and longer. Patty began running with the other sheep, exploring the open space and building a life of her own. I thought that might mean her relationship with Momo would change too. Patty had a whole herd now. She wasn't that fragile little lamb who needed Momo beside her every minute anymore. I wondered if, as she grew up, she might slowly forget about the friend who had been there at the very beginning. But I was wrong. Every time Patty comes back inside, she almost immediately goes looking for Momo. Nobody has to call her, nobody has to show her where he is. Patty knows exactly where to find him. And once she does, the two of them will run around together for hours, as if they had never been apart. Sometimes I just stand there and watch them, and it still amazes me. Patty now has an entire herd to spend time with. She's stronger, happier, and so much more confident than that tiny lamb we first brought inside. But somehow, Momo still seems to hold a very special place in her heart. Maybe Momo understands it too. From the very beginning, when Patty was just a tiny little creature shivering in 20-degree below zero weather, he chose to stay beside her. Momo didn't know that Patty was a lamb. Patty certainly didn't know that Momo was a dog. They just knew that being together made them both feel safe. I never imagined I would watch a 100-pound-plus dog become the best friend of a tiny little lamb. But I think the most beautiful part isn't that Momo helped Patty survive. It's that, even after Patty grew strong enough to no longer need him, she still comes running back to find him. And maybe that's what makes their friendship so special. You never really forget the one who made you feel safe when you needed it most.